People, I want people to switch off their videos here. I want people to remove their videos. I don't want them to be on the videos. Please switch off your videos. Yeah, we'll wait for another 2 minutes and then we'll start.
Sir, can I have show my exception? Can you have a look meanwhile?
Not now here. After the session is over, we'll see that.
Okay. Sir.
So in this batch, what we have done is like, I know like there is one old Spring batch is there in regular sessions, right? So there is only last 1 month of topics are there for them. So what admin team has decided is they want to allow the old Spring students to attend these sessions, so that we will not have any other new batch once if the lockdown is completed. Okay. So that is the reason only for this batch, only for these people, we are allowing them. So for the new people who are continuing this class, I've couple of things. You should not switch on your video. If you switch on your video, I'm going to remove you from the meeting. Okay. Once if I remove you from the meeting, you'll not be able to join back. Okay. And next thing, if you are not speaking, I want you to go on mute. That's the second thing. So when you are joining the meeting, please join with your name. Don't join with somebody's name like or iPhone or I see a couple of names here. So if you join, Satyam will remove you from the meeting. Okay. So these are the 3 things which you have to follow while joining this class here. Any doubts are there, you can unmute and you can speak. If there are no doubts, yeah, you can understand the class and then you can finish it off. Okay. So from today, as we are already, there are people who are like old batch students, you know, we have started Hibernate or we have ended the Hibernate in Spring.
Sir, just we have started, that's it, sir.
Just we start only one class, sir.
Only update method you have taught us.
Yeah, no problem. So in this batch also what we are doing is we are just finishing the JDBC module here. Okay, we're about to finish. Okay, so in another 1 hour, in tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I'm going to start Hibernate. So you can utilize this today and tomorrow as a revision topic so that you'll be able to come on to the track.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Timing, sir.
So
Sir,
time
we
same.
don't know about that repository and all that things.
Sorry.
We don't know about the repository and the annotations about that, sir.
No, we have already
For our
explained
old
that,
batch,
right?
we have not divided all the modules like this.
Okay, we'll understand that. We have done this in old batch also.
No, sir.
Project I have done that. I have remembered. Generally, when I teach JDBC, that's last topics of JDBC. I'll teach that. Just recap. Just check your notes. If it is not there, also no problem. You'll understand.
So we can contact admin team for the details about the timings and all those things, sir.
Timings no need to contact here. 11:15 to 12:45. So from today onwards, I'll increase the time a little bit. 15 minutes I'll increase so that I can finish on time. From now onwards, maximum 1 month. From 1 month, we are going to finish the remaining part.
Okay, sir, fine.
Yeah. So move on. So coming to the last session, we are trying to write the JDBC code to insert the records here. Okay. So we are using an update method here. Okay. So in update method, do you think that can we customize the prepared statement and can you supply those values or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So do you think that only prepared statement? Okay. There are so many methods are there. So based on our requirement, we are going to configure those methods, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So based on the requirement, we are going to configure the methods and we are going to use it. Okay. So let's do one thing. This is to update the record. This time, what I want to do is I want to write a program to retrieve the records and to display that. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Take care
Go
of
to
it.
DAO.
Employee DAO,
Class.
Employee Devo class.
new method.
I think
Okay,
already
find
we
all
have
is
done that,
one.
right?
Yeah. Find
Yes.
all employees
Yeah.
we have already written.
Yeah, already I think we have done that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we have done with this code also. Yeah. Now let's do one thing. Now let's go a little more deep into this project. Okay. When you go to this util package, in the util package, we have util.java. In util.java, we have a component scan, right? We have a component scan. Okay, not only that, we have JDBC template.java as well as we have data source factory also. Only one thing what I want to do is just take a backup of these files here. Just copy. Okay, let me place the name backup. Okay, Spring software. In the Spring software, we are going to place the backup paste items. Okay. Now, what I want to do here now is I would like to remove the complete workspace. Okay. I want to set up the code again. Yeah. So can you start the work now?
Yes, sir.
Start the work.
Okay, sir. Great.
Removing all the packages. Remove all the packages. Delete it. So step one, think like this. We have created a new Maven project. Okay. And added the dependencies in pom.xml file. Are you able to hear my voice, right? Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So add the pom.xml file. In the pom.xml file, tell me what is the first, what are the dependencies we have added? We have added
Bring context.
What context?
Bring context,
Bring JDBC.
bring JDBC, MySQL dependencies we have added. Okay. Not only that, we have added a plugin also. Okay. Java compiler plugin we have added. So which version of Java compiler we are using? 1.8. Okay. So you know very well. We can use 13 version, 14 version also. We can do that. Uday Kiran, I'm getting a lot of noise from your side, Uday. Yeah. Okay. So we are able to add that. So now next, tell me any doubts as of now on this project creation pom.xml file. We have done that. In the config file, we're having db.properties. In this db.properties, we are trying to have URL, username, and password. Everything we have configured. Now let's do one thing. Now I want to create a couple of packages and process that. Right click, new package. info dot now info dot initsol is a package. Monica, I'm getting a lot of noise from your side, Monica. Yeah, so info.initsol dot util package. So take care of creating the class now. Right click, new class. Okay, so I would like to use the class name as util.java. In util.java, we want to use one annotation here. The annotation is at component scan. At component scan of base packages is equal to, we are going to specify the base package name as info.initsol, so that it is going to scan all the packages and it is going to process that. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, what is the next step we have to develop? What is the next program we have to develop?
To develop all the DAOs.
DAO package.
Factory
DAO package. No, not DAO. Before DAO, we have to develop something else also, right?
JDBC factory and data source factory class.
Yeah, data source factory, develop it. Right click, new class.
Data source factory.
Inside this class, what we have to do?
I have to create a data source as a bean method.
Data source factory, we have to develop it. Let's do one thing. Let me reuse that code. Spring Software, util, okay, data source factory.java. Okay, I'm opening with a Notepad++ here. Okay, let me copy this code here. What are the code available inside this? Let me copy this. Okay, paste that code here. You already know this code very well, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what are we doing here? Making this as a configuration. Okay, after that, we are making this as property file to read the contents from db.properties. After that, created one environment, and we are having a data source bean also with an annotation called as at bean. Okay, so and we are reading URL, username, password, right?
Yes.
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 Okay, now let's do one thing. I want you to create next class. What is the next important class?
JDBC template factory.
JDBC template.
JDBC template factory, right? Okay.
Yes.
So what I need to do now is I need to develop JDBC template factory class. I have to develop. So help me. Go and help me to write that code. Quick. Right click.
New class.
New class.
JDBC template.
JDBC template factory.
JDBC template factory. Okay. Take care of the code.
To create a private variable of JDBC template.
First, make that as a configuration. Next,
Private
one method. Public
JDBC
template of JDBC template. So for the time being, return null, right?
Yes.
So now tell me, on top of this, what we have to do?
I have to declare a private variable. Private
Variable.
JDBC
Private
JDBC
JDBC template of JDBC template.
@ of auto.
Right?
Sir, the
On
data
top of-
source.
Data source, sir.
Data source.
Data source.
Data.
Sorry.
Data
Mistake. Data source.
source. You have to give auto while.
Data source of data
Data
source.
source.
Make
On
the
top of this, what?
auto while.
At auto while.
Auto.
Okay. Tell me the code inside this now.
JDBC template is called new JDBC template.
No. Oh yeah, right. New JDBC template. Control 1.
Control 1.
Okay. We got the JDBC template.
JDBC template.
JDBC template dot set data source.
Dot set.
Set data. Oh,
Data source.
not bad.
Data source.
Set data source. Set data source of data source.
Data source.
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, one quick question here.
Written
Do you
data.
real? One minute. Do you really see any problem in this code, or there is no problem in this code?
Yes, problem. No
Coupling, creating JDBC template object.
It been
Okay.
Bean is not seen.
Bean.
At bean, I have. My bad. I forgot. At bean. Okay, fine. Now question here. Do you think that for every project, do I need to write this code or not?
Yes.
What yes?
The
A
database.
factory class for a JDBC template.
Okay. For every class, we have to develop
JDBC template factory.
template factory. Every project we have to do this work. Don't you feel that it's a more burden to the company or to the project or not?
Yes.
Yes.
What burden?
Repeated.
Can I say it's like
Rewriting the same piece of
redundant
code.
yeah? Can I say it's like a redundant code or not?
Yes.
Okay. So instead of writing this redundant code, instead of me writing this code, if someone has given this code, do you like this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
But yes.
Someone is already providing
One
this
already mentioned that.
setup.
Yeah. If someone has done this code for us instead of me, am I able to use that or not? Am I able to use that? Is that a better code to write it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what happens is in Spring, really when you work with a database, really you don't need to develop this class at all. Instead of you developing this class, Spring itself has given another class called as DAO classes. Okay. We call them as JDBC DAO classes, DAO support. Okay. Let's do one thing. How can we verify any predefined class in Eclipse? Really, do I need to go to the documentation and see that? Or can I open the predefined classes here? Can we check that?
Yeah,
Control
Control
Shift
Shift
T.
T.
Control Shift T. I want to know about a class called as DAO support class. Can you help me to see that?
DAO support.
DAO support. DAO.
DAO support. Oh, there is a class with the name DAO support. If you observe this class, there is a special symbol called as A is coming. Any idea what is
Abstract
that?
class.
Abstract.
It's not annotation. Annotation means the symbol
Abstract
itself will
class.
come.
Abstract.
Abstract class.
Okay, so maybe we are not going to use this class directly here. Instead of this, okay, anyway, no problem. Open this. We'll see that. Okay, so DAO support is a class. Oh, inside that they are writing some code here. Okay, fine. Now, if you look at this documentation here, okay, from the documentation, if we observe some of the classes, extra classes, extended by Spring specific DAO support classes, such as what? What is this here?
JDBC DAO support.
JDBC DAO support class. JDBC
Oh,
DAO
attached.
support.
JDO, DAO support and all. We don't know about that. Maybe for JDBC, do you think that maybe is this class is a bit relevant class for me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So can we do one thing? Can you guys help me to see this internal code of this class?
Yes.
3.
Yes.
Yeah. How do we see the internal code of JDBC DAO support? Can anyone
Control
help?
Shift T.
Control Shift T.
DAO support. JDBC.
JDBC DAO support. So instead of using a regular DAO support, I'm going to use a class called as JDBC DAO support. Hey, observe this here. What is the first line here?
JDBC template.
JDBC template.
Object.
Okay. Object. Not only that, in this method, are they supplying new JDBC template object also or not?
Yes.
But yes.
Data source also
They
there.
are creating inside that and they are
JDBC
giving us.
template object.
You can
instead
directly
of-
use.
Yeah. So whatever the code I'm writing in regular JDBC template here, instead of I do this work, do you think that the JDBC DAO support class is doing that work?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes.
What yes?
So we don't need to create a JDBC template object. It is already given. We just use that.
DAO support.
Giving the predefined
So
class.
do you really think that can I delete my JDBC template factory class now?
Yes.
It's useless for me, right?
Yes. Sir.
Yeah. So in a real-time project, we will never develop this class here. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. So now we have completely finished that line. Okay. Now do one thing. I want to write database code. Okay. So where do you write the complete database related code? In which program you are going to do that? a separate class called as DAO classes or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So what I have to do? Do you think that separate package I have to create, right?
Yes, sir.
New package. Help me to create the package. Quick.
The data install.dao.
info.inetsol.dao. Okay, I'm muting all the people here. Okay. So info.inetsol.dao. Inside this, I have to write employee DAO class. Right click, new class. Okay. Class name is going to be like employee DAO. When I use this employee DAO, first I need to make this as a string bean. Okay. So how do you make this as a string bean? Only one way we have, or can we do this in multiple ways?
Multiple ways.
Can I make this as a configuration?
Yeah.
Can I make this as a controller also?
Yes.
Yeah. But which one is the best way to do that?
At repository.
At repository. So that practically people will understand that it is a class which contains the database code. But DAO class, I should not do like this. Okay. Extends
JDBC DAO support.
JDBC DAO support. So from today onwards, every DAO class will inherit the properties of another class called as JDBC DAO support. Okay. But there is a small problem available. Whenever I am using JDBC DAO support, is this DAO support is having one instance variable. What is this instance variable value? What is the instance variable?
JDBC template.
JDBC template. If I don't supply any value to this, what is the value of this JDBC template? Instance variable, superclass variable.
Null.
Null.
Null. By default, it will be a null. Now, if I call any method like save method and all, okay, let's do one thing, Control-Shift-O, let us call any method here. Okay, if we call any method like a save method and all, so internally, they are going to call, they are going to use JDBC template. If you don't supply JDBC template, do you think that are we going to get one exception or not? Null pointer exception or not?
Yes.
Why are we going to get null pointer exception?
So in the object, there is an annotation nullable or the
Nullable is there. Okay, you leave that nullable annotation. Okay, if I want to use any DAO classes, do we need to make sure that do we need to call the JDBC template object or not? Without JDBC template object, can I perform any operation or we cannot do that?
We cannot perform any of
You cannot perform.
Okay, if we want to get the JDBC template object, okay, earlier we are using an instance variable, private JDBC template and all. Now we no need to use that. Instead of we write the code to use an auto wire and all, what we are going to do is go to JDBC DAO support. Control-Shift-O will display all the methods. Okay. Carefully watch the method here. What is this method name here?
Getting the JDBC template.
Template. It's a standard method. What is the right hand type of this method?
JDBC template.
JDBC template. Okay. So now let us do one thing. Okay. What this JDBC template method is returning, it is returning the instance variable. But what is the value of this instance variable? Is this value is null or is this there is a value available for that object?
it's null.
It's null. If I directly use JDBC template, do you think that are we going to get an exception or not? Null pointer exception or not?
Yes.
Okay. Then how can we solve the problem? To solve the problem, somehow I need to initialize this instance variable. Which way instance variable?
JDBC template.
JDBC template. If I initialize this, okay, if I want to initialize this, maybe I have to use a method here. Okay. What is the method here? What is this here? Watch it.
Create JDBC template.
JDBC template.
What type of method is it?
Protected method.
Protected method. Who can use the protected method?
Subclasses.
Or subclasses.
Subclasses can
child
use.
classes.
Okay. Or do you think that can I call this method set data source method in my employee DAO class?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, we can call.
Yes, we
If
can
I
call
call this, what is the parameter I have to supply?
data
Data
source.
Okay. If I supply the data source object, internally which method they are trying to create here?
They'll create the JDBC template.
They are trying to create the JDBC template object, right?
Yes.
So what am I going to do here is somehow whenever employee DAO object is getting created, immediately I want to supply this particular set data source method. Okay, I'm giving the requirement also. Whenever employee DAO class object is created, immediately we want to create the data source object also, or JDBC template object also. So how do we make sure that when our object is created, immediately some code is executed? Where do you write the code in Java?
We write that in the constructor.
Static block.
Excellent.
Static method.
No, not static block. Not static block here.
Constructor.
we have to.
Constructor we have to write down, right? So what I have to do now is, let me write one constructor here. Okay, let me write one constructor here. If I write the constructor, the problem will be solved. It's like a constructor injection. So let's do one thing. Let me write one constructor here, control space of employee DAO. But this constructor expect us one data source object here. So what I have to do now is, I need data source here. So get the data source object. Data source of data source. On top of that, auto wide. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So we are able to create a data source object. On top of that, we are able to use @AutoWire also. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Now, in case of constructor injection, do you think that can I supply this as a parameter to this constructor or not?
Yes.
Now, really, do you want to use an instance variable like this? And do you want to use a constructor here also? Or can I remove this line here?
We can
remove this.
Remove that.
On top of this, we are going to use @AutoWide. So do you think that writing the code like this, can I say it's like a constructor injection now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, constructor injection. So whenever we are having a constructor injection, what I can do here is, I can call a method, set data source of data source. Are we clear?
Sir, without
Yes, sir.
writing the AutoWord annotation also it will work or it will not work?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So without above the constructor we are writing @AutoWord.
Okay, I'll talk about that. Now I understand your question. I'll explain. After the code is completed, I will remove this and I'll explain this also. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So now we are able to call the set data source here. Sir, whenever I call this set data source method, do you think that is it internally going to create the JDBC template object or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So the problem will be created. The problem will be solved. Okay. Now let's do one thing. What I want to do here is, this is like a standard code. Now what I want to do now is, I want to write a save method. Inside the save method, I want to insert the record here. Can you guys take care of the save method now? Quick.
Yes.
Public int save
The
of
employee.
employee. But now tell me, if I want to call the save method, control shift to employee class is not there yet. Let me create that class also. Okay. Place the mouse cursor, create employee, click on finish. Inside that, I want to have 3 variables: private, integer, enumber, private string name, private double salary. Okay, let me have setters and getters. Source, generate getter and setters, select all, generate. So with that, we are able to get the setters and getters here. Instead of DAO, yeah, I can place that in a separate package also, right? Anywhere is fine here. Last classes already I have explained that. Now tell me, in this example, I want to call save method here. If I want to call save method, do you think that directly can I call the save method, or I need a JDBC template object?
We need JDBC template.
JDBC template object.
JDBC template object.
How to get the JDBC template object now?
Get an instance variable, get the object.
No, we should not do that, right?
Through the constructor, we are
Call
getting
the
JDBC.
method. That is
No.
available in DAO support.
Employee DAO
Ah.
template.
Call the
Do you
method.
think that is there any method which will give a JDBC template object in this code?
Yes, get JDBC template. And
Get JDBC.
Okay. Get JDBC template. So do you think here from now onwards, if I want to get JDBC template object, do I need to write the instance variable and get that, or directly can I use JDBC support class now? Can I use the DAO support class methods now?
Directly we can write
Call the method.
Directly use the method.
get JDBC template.
Call the method here. Get
Get
JDBC
JDBC template.
JDBC template.
template. I don't want to store in a variable here. Instead of storing in a variable, dot directly can I call update method or not?
Yes, sir.
Update. Sir, it's up to you. As we already discussed, either you can use prepared statement setters or we can use
Arrays, object arrays.
object arrays also. Okay. For the time being, let's go with arguments, object array here. So help me. String SQL is equal to, you prepare the SQL query here. Insert into emp underscore table values of positional parameters. Okay. Now, what you can do is, if you want, can I use prepared statement setters and all? Can I use it or not? If you want,
Yes, we
we
can.
can. I don't want to do all that nonsense code here. Okay. Directly, I'm going to supply the values here. Employee dot get e-number, comma, employee dot get name, comma, employee dot get salary. Okay. So like that, we are going to get the values here. Now here itself, I can write the return statement here. So what is the problem? Control Z. Yeah, here. Directly let me write return statement. Return JDBC template dot get update. Okay. So with that, really, am I able to remove one factory class or not?
Yes.
Yes, you can remove it.
Okay. And that too, okay, we are going to maintain some standard also now. Standard is like in everywhere, we are going to use an option like
Get JDBC template.
JDBC templates.
dot. So everyone, every project, every file, we are going to maintain a consistency across the projects. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Now let's do one thing. Now, yeah, finish the remaining work also. I want to write a service class. Okay. I want to write app.java and finish the work. Not class here. Let me create a package here. Right click, new, a separate package. Info dot initsol dot services. Okay. Inside the services, can you develop a class now? Employee service class. New class. Kumara Swami, I'm getting a lot of noise from you side here. Sir, one small example. For LKG, UKG students, is online session started?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Everyone. All.
For every student, for every school, they have started online. I don't know how many of you guys know that. You know, very sincerely, they are following all the rules, like mute, they are nicely chatting. Okay. So please follow some good conventions here. If you start getting a noise, we'll be getting disturbed and we'll deviate. Okay. Try to maintain the ethics here. I am not having any problems with the old batch. So when new people join, we'll have an issues. Okay. So please go on mute if you are not speaking out. Yes, you have a question? Ask one by one. If one fellow is asking question, other fellow hold on. You know one thing, it's a good sign for the software engineers who are going to become a software engineer in future. The reason is, this is how you are going to talk to client in office. Client is in US. In this meeting, you are going to talk to him. You understand? So you should follow all these ethics. Okay? Take care. So we are having employee service. Click on finish. So let me make this as Spring Bean. Can I use component?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I use configuration?
Yes.
Can I use service also?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Which one is better?
So what is the difference between those three?
There is no difference. Only just marking them as Spring Beans. Okay. So if we are going to tell them it is a Spring Bean and we are going to use it. That's it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now tell me here. So inside this, what we have to do now?
Call the methods of DAO class.
Call the methods of DAO class, right? So help me. I want to get the DAO object. How do we get the DAO object?
Create an instance. Create an instance variable.
Create an instance variable.
Employee DAO.
Employee DAO of employee DAO. Okay.
At auto-white.
With auto one.
At AutoWire. Okay. So tell me, how do you do that? On top of this, at AutoWire. instead of at AutoWire, can we use at inject?
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of that, can we use
Resource.
at resource also?
Yes.
Yeah, we can use at resource also, right? Any annotation is fine. Already we have seen them. They are from JSR 330 as JSR 250, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now let's do one thing. Write a method here. Save method. Public void save. Here also we are going to have employee object, right? Now take care of it. So what is the code? Real code we have tried here. Really great amount of code, or just call the methods of DAO class.
Just call the methods of DAO class.
Yeah, call the methods of DAO class. Okay. So tell me, I want to do that.
Employee DAO.
Employee DAO dot.
Employee DAO dot.
Save.
Directly can I call a save method or not?
Yes.
Yes.
1 minute here. We need 1 minute. We need document. I am waiting. Yeah. Okay. Employee DAO.save method I'm calling here. Okay. Save it. Okay. Let me return that value directly here. Return. So there is no difference in the code. The complete code is same or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Why the error message is coming here? It's written void here. So let me make that as int. Okay. So now do one thing. I want you to call app.java here. Okay. Right click info package, a separate package. Info.initsol start. In the start, I want to write a main method. Right click, new class, app, public static void main. So tell me, how do we write the remaining code here? Click.
New annotation context.
And create a container object.
Create the container object. That's what I'm asking. How do you create a new container object? New
annotation config application context.
Application context of
util.class.
util.class.
Yes.
Okay, which util.class? And it's all util.class, right? And we need to store that in a variable. Annotation config application context, let's say container. Okay. Now,
Close.
yeah, we need to close the container also. Okay, container.close. Yeah, we are able to close the container object. But we need to get that object and we need to process that. So help me. How do you get that object?
Container dot.
Container dot get bean of employee service dot class. Control 1. Okay, we got the employee service object. So employee service dot directly we can call a save method here. Okay, but instead of getting the data from the keyboard directly, I'm writing that code here. So let's do one thing. Let's go to DAO. Okay, let's go to employee.java. Inside that, I want to have a couple of constructors here. 2 constructors, let me have it. Source constructor from superclass means default constructor, we are going to have it. Source constructor from using fields. So parameters constructor also I'm having. So why I'm having a parameters constructor is easy for me to write the code here. Okay, directly I'll supply new employee of, I'm going to give some data 11. Okay, XYZ. Salary is 1111. Okay, D double. Okay, with that, are we ready with the code or not?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, tell me, do you really see any difference between the earlier example and this example, or the complete code is same?
We are not creating data source and JDBC being factory classes.
No. Data source we are creating, right?
Yes.
We are not using only data JDBC template class. Apart from that, everything is same. Only JDBC template factory class, we are able to reduce that, right? Yeah. So apart from that, we are using another class. In DAO, we are using another class called as DAO support class. Which class we are using?
JDBC
DAO support class we are using. Okay, let's do one thing. Now let's run the code and test the code whether the code is working fine or not. Okay. So before we execute the code, let us connect to the database and check how many number of records are there. Okay. Let's close this. I don't want this. Okay. Let me go to a terminal here. Let me connect to MySQL. MySQL -u username. Just connect, giving the password here. Okay. Use MOC is the database name. Select star from emp_table. Oh, there are 4 records available here. Okay. Employee number 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. 11 record is not available. Okay. Let's execute the code. App.java. Right click on this. Okay. Run as Java application. When I run that as Java application, we see a message called as terminated. Okay. Let's go to the next tab and execute the query. Select star from emp_table. Are we able to insert the 11th record or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So now tell me, what is the major difference between earlier program and this program?
We can avoid
are not
building
good.
JDBC template factory.
Template factory. Then what is the approach we have done to work with that database? We have taken approach called as what?
JDBC DAO support.
JDBC DAO support. Okay. Now, okay, one more point here. Earlier, what is the approach we are taking? If JDBC DAO support is not there, then what is the approach I have to take?
Just template factory
Instance variable.
create the object of JDBC template.
JDBC template factory, we do it. Okay. After factory is created, private, I have to write the code here. JDBC template. What I have to do here?
JDBC template.
JT. Can I use JT also instead of JDBC template?
Yes. Variable.
On top of that, what we have to do?
Data void.
Auto void. Instead of this code, what is the code I have to write here? JT dot update method I have to write. Are we clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is one fellow is writing the code like this here. Another fellow right? ABC. Is this also valid?
Yes.
But what is the problem of this? If everybody is writing their own variable names, okay, they are following their own variable names means
With confusion.
Maintenance problems.
more dependencies, more dependent will come or not?
Yes.
Yeah, we are not following a consistency across all the projects or not. All the DAO classes. So different DAO classes will have
Different variable names.
different variables we are going to have it. So that is the reason we don't take this approach at all. Which approach? Using a JDBC template directly. Okay, instead of that, we'll always use a mechanism called as DAO support. Okay, so are you guys comfortable with what is JDBC DAO support and what is the purpose of JDBC DAO support?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain once again?
Which one?
DAO support.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now, one simple question doubt. Generalized question, not related to Spring. Tell me the number of haircut styles available in India. Asking boys.
So many.
Depending
No,
on
no, no,
person,
no. Don't tell me depending on person and all. Tell me the number. How many ways we can have in a hair cutting?
so many ways.
There is no specific.
So many ways are there. Okay. How many hair cutting styles are available in North Korea?
Only one. Only one.
Either one or 2-3 styles are available. Agreed?
Only one.
Yeah.
Example. No need to buy hard 1 or 3 or 4. Okay. In India, 1,000 ways are there. Not 1,000 way. Different people comes with different approaches, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now in North Korea, only one way is there. Okay. Now assume you want to start a barber shop here. Okay. Tell me, where to start a barber shop is more easier? Starting in India is easy or starting in North Korea is easy?
India is easy.
North Korea.
Don't tell me. See,
North Korea.
excellent. Why North Korea?
Only one.
Only one style.
I have to learn only one hair cutting style, right?
Yes.
Or 2 maximum. India, assume that I have started a shop. One fellow comes to me and told me like this, half I want a bald head. Half I wanted to make it as a bold. Second half, I want to maintain a different style. If I tell him, I don't know how to do that, what will happen? He'll blast and go, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But if I go to North Korea, so if someone has come, no need to ask him anything, right? So I can do my work and finish and send him, right? So which one is more easy? So doing that in India is easy, or doing that in North Korea is easy?
North Korea.
North Korea.
North Korea. Okay. So same here. Today, what is the way you are writing the way? You are a good developer. You will write like JDBC template. Like this, right? What is the variable name we are following here? JDBC template. You are a good developer, you are following. I will write like ABC here. Do you think that is that also valid or invalid? ABC.
Yes,
Valid.
Valid. If as an architect, if I ask someone, hey, why are you using ABC? Why are you not writing in a better manner like JDBC template? The question what he'll ask me is, what is the problem if I use
ABC.
Or JDBC template.
So if I ask him a question, why are you not following a convention here? He will tell me like this, any government passed a rule or what? I will use ABC like this, right?
Yes.
Okay. But if I ask him to follow, hey, this is not a good variable. I want you to use a variable name like JDBC template. He will tell me, get lost. I will not follow. But that type of people, I want to ask them to follow all the conventions here. So how can we ask them, everyone to follow conventions here? So if I want to follow the convention, I should not allow them to create the variable. Instead of I create the variable, who is creating the variable here?
Spring is already created.
JDBC DAO support.
JDBC
DAO support is already creating the variable. And they are giving one method also to get the JDBC template object. Okay. What is the method name they are giving here?
Get JDBC.
JDBC template.
Okay. Now tell me, whoever want to use JDBC into the project, can I say, is this code is a standard code or different programs? We are going to see different approaches.
Standard code.
Standard code. But if I take earlier approach, instance variable, is that a standard code or it is not a standard code?
It is not a standard code.
Why that is not a standard code?
Change the variable names.
No convention.
Yeah. We have changed the variable name or not?
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So tell me, which one is better to write a JDBC code? With the DAO support is better or without DAO support is better?
With the DAO support is better.
Okay. So with the DAO support, anyone develop the DAO class, any number of DAO classes support developed, is the code, this code is like a standard code or not?
Yes, sir.
It is standard code.
Yeah. So are you comfortable with, are you guys comfortable with DAO support class now?
Explain the
Auto.
Okay. Now we'll go to see. You asked me one question, I have explained. Now going to the next one, without finishing it, without giving the confirmation from your side. When you ask me second question, it will be a problem here. First finish one by one.
Okay.
So explain that to public.
1 minute. Okay. So now, if you really understand that, then go to the next topic. Okay. Can anyone help me? This code here. What is this code? What are we doing there?
We are injecting the data source.
Constructor
We are
injection.
making constructor injection. Okay. Let's do one thing. Same program. Let us remove this auto void. Control Shift O. Remove that. Okay. In this example, okay. Do we have any default constructor or there is no default constructor?
Yes, we have.
No,
There is
No
no
default constructor.
There is no default constructor.
No default.
Okay, no default constructor. We have only one parameterized constructor. Okay, that too, they find one instance, one annotation called as what? What annotation?
At
Repository.
At repository. What is the meaning of specifying it as a repository?
That means it contains the database
register
code.
as
Database code.
Okay, we need to make that as a database code, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, actually speaks, I need to have use auto revive, but I am not using it. without AutoWire on top of a constructor. Let's try and see whether the code will work or not. Okay, go to your start.java, app.java, right click, run as Java application. Before running as a Java application, verify the number of records here. Already 11th record is also there or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you want, truncate the table. Truncate table, emp underscore table. Okay, select star from emp. Any records are available or no records?
No records.
No records.
No records.
Now, do one thing. Go to your app.java, right click, run as Java application. What is your expectation? Do you think that code is going to work or code is going to fail?
It will fail
It will fail.
as the
Excellent.
data source is not available.
Yes, excellent. As the data source is not available, code has to fail. Okay, let's verify the code. Is the code is working fine or code is failed?
Working fine.
Working fine.
Working fine. Okay, now one question. Yeah, verify in the database also. Very good. Select star from EMP. Is the 11th record is stored or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now my quick question here is, we are expecting an error message, exception, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, without exception, code is working fine. Okay, may I know the reason why the code is working fine? Simple reason. Apply a little bit brain, you'll be able to solve that.
We have written that inside the constructor.
Injection.
Okay, question here. Do we have any default constructor or we don't have any default constructor?
We don't have.
We don't
any-
have.
Okay, then what type of constructor we have?
Parameterized.
Parameterized. When we have a parameterized constructor, what happens is Spring think like this. Okay, container things like this. I'm supposed to create the object to this class, but unfortunately, this class is having only one constructor. Which constructor?
Parameterized.
And he is expecting what object?
Data source.
Data source.
Data source.
Data source.
Then Spring think like this. Only one option you have given to me, not even second option. The two parameterized constructor. The two you are expecting what object here?
Data source.
Data source. So what Spring does is, even though at AutoWire is not there, Spring will check what?
Data source
Is there
object
any
is
object available with the name?
Data source.
Data source or not? If as it is available, they'll inject that object here. Do you understand?
Okay. Because we make this class as at repository, the Spring will change the functionality, is it, sir?
It's not like at repository. There is no relationship with at repository. It can be a configuration also. Okay, 1 minute here. 1 minute. How can I explain that?
Change the annotation and use it again.
Okay. Yeah, I will change the annotation and I'll use it. Do you think that if I change the annotation, code is going to work or code will fail?
Code will work.
Code will work. So as the code will work, there is no dependency of what?
Repository annotation with data source creation.
There is no dependency of data source annotation and component. Okay. Then you may ask, then what is the difference? You will understand the difference also. Just give me a minute. Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's change the code. Okay, let's remove this repository. At configuration. At configuration. Yeah, when I use at configuration. Okay, let's go to the program. Let's run that again here. Save it. Let's run that. Maybe second record also will insert here. Don't worry about that. Yeah, program got terminated or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now go to the database here. Okay. Select star from emp underscore table. Are we able to insert the second record also or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now answer. Do you really think that any dependency with repository or no dependency?
No dependency.
No dependency at all. Right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, okay. Let's do one thing. One thing here. Assume that Yama has come to you. Okay. ask a question to you like this. When do you want to die? Do you want to die now or do you want to die after 100 years? Option is there. Option is there. So obviously you will select the second option after 100 years. Okay. Yama has come to you now and ask, come with me right now. Only one constructor is there. At that time, any option is there or no option?
No option.
No option.
Okay. Now tell me, who is creating the object to this DAO class?
String container.
Including the object.
Yeah. When the content object is created, do you think that are they going to execute constructor or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. When they execute this constructor, what they are checking here?
Data
Data
source.
source.
The source object
Okay.
is available
So
or not.
Spring thinks like this. If I want to create employee DAO object, mandatory I should have which object?
Data source object.
Data source.
Yeah. Data source object should be there. If data source object is not there, Spring will not create the object. Okay. But there is no option here for the Spring to use other constructor. So what? Even though you have not used at auto void, even though you have not used it, do you think that Spring is going to check for the data source object and is Spring is going to inject the data source?
Yes.
No option.
Okay, now let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. Use this. Now, look at this. Do you think that any problem now?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Now
What
it will.
What default constructor?
It's
Okay.
not mandatory to
constructors.
provide the data source as the
No.
default is available.
Okay, so do we have only one constructor or we have two constructors now?
Two
Two
constructors.
constructors.
Okay, Spring is also lazy like us. Okay, if you have two constructors and if you don't tell them which constructor to be used, by default, which constructor they are going to use?
Default constructor.
Okay, now let me run this app.java now. Let me go to start app.java, right click, run as Java application. Now, so now tell me, really, do you see any problem now?
Sir,
That's
now it will fail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Data source will. Oh, what is mandatory now?
Data source.
Data source or JDBC template is required.
Data source or JDBC template is mandatory or not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you think that which constructor Spring has taken? Any guess?
Default.
Default constructor. So now, now this is the problem, right? That is the reason to solve this. What I have done is, I will not at all provide default constructor. Okay. I will not use AutoWire also. Now tell me, totally how many constructors we have?
Only one constructor.
If only one constructor is there, parameters constructor. That to really do I need to specify AutoWire or not required?
Not required.
Not required.
But if you say no, I want to follow all the rules. Yes, if you want to follow all the rules, write this. This is a good way of writing it. Are we
It is
clear?
not mandatory, but it's a good practice to use AutoWire.
Yes, it's not mandatory, but it's a good practice to use AutoWire. So that, see, tomorrow, someone look at this code here. Do you really think that someone will understand that, okay, data source is a AutoWire or not happened?
Yes.
Not
It's
happening.
difficult for him.
Difficult for them to recognize that, right?
Yes.
That is the reason it's a good practice to write AutoWire. But even though if AutoWire is not there, that only one constructor is there, what will happen?
It will work.
It will
without
execute.
AutoWire also.
It will execute. Why it will execute?
There's only one constructor we are
There is
using.
only one constructor.
Yeah, presently we are using only
One constructor with
constructor.
data source.
with data source. Are we clear?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
if container is going to pick up the data sources by own, how can it knows that which database we are connecting? At least data source we are mentioning that we are connecting Oracle or SQL.
But 1 minute here. 1 minute here. Go to data source factory.
That is a factory.
Is data source factory is there or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Based on this, they are going to pick.
No, sir, 1 minute. Take.
Let's do one thing. Let's comment this line. Which line?
At Beam.
And
At
being
being
annotation.
Creating
What is your expectation? Do you think that code will work or code will not work?
Will not
will
work.
not work.
Verify that. Run as app. Read the error message.
Oh, okay. Fine.
Qualifying Beam.
So, which object creation failed? Right, sorry. Which object creation failed?
Employee DAO.
Okay, why employee data failed?
Because it is dependent on
So,
Because of data
the
source.
read.
Satisfy dependency expression to
Dependency
constructor.
expressed through constructor parameter
Constructor parameter.
0. So because of whom it is got failed?
Data source.
Constructor.
Yes, sir.
Constructor.
Constructor. Why constructor it is failed? Read the error message.
no such
No
bean
such
definition
bean
exception.
No qualifying bean of type
Data source.
Data source available.
data source. The data source is not
Data
available,
source.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is the reason it has got failed. So Spring will not apply a brain on the data source. For everything, we only configured and we only told them, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's remove this. So are you comfortable with DAO support classes now? So what is DAO support? What are the advantages of using DAO support?
So write the alternative of
More readability will be.
More
For
readability
you to write factory classes for JDBC template.
JDBC template.
template. Instead of we do that, they are taking care of that in a predefined class called as where
JDBC DAO.
JDBC DAO support. Okay. Are you guys comfortable with this concept? If you are comfortable, then I'll move on to the next topic.
yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. 1 minute. Let's do one thing. There is a concept called as batch updates. One of the important interview question on Spring JDBC.
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
Batch of
Batch
updates.
updates. Okay, sir. If you understand the architecture here, okay, are we writing all the code only into one program, or we have divided them into so many programs?
Divided them into
So many programs.
So many programs. Let's do one thing. Okay. Let's try to understand that. Think that this is database, right? And we are having DAO class. This is DAO class. We have
service.
we are having another service class.
Service class.
We are going to have a controller class.
Controller.
Okay. Now I'll do one thing. I will show you one project here. Based on that, I'll do it. Okay. Take some program here. Let's do one thing. Search/edit customer. Click on search. 1 minute. Let's put the people onto the mute. Okay. 1 minute. Just checking for multiple screens here. Okay. Assume that there is a button available here called as delete. Assume, I know it's not there. I will check all the checkboxes here. Okay. Click on delete. If I click on delete, do you think that, do I need to delete multiple records or not?
Yes.
yes,
Okay. Or there is a button here called as save. When I click on save, I would like to update or I would like to insert 3 records into the database. Okay. Now look at the architecture and answer. Now this is like a JSP, right? So where the user is entering the data here,
the JS.
JSP. 3 records is user is entering. All the 3 records should come to him where? Controller.
Controller.
From the controller, all 3 records should come to
Service.
service. From the service, all the 3 records come to where?
DAO.
Yeah.
So where to write the queries and all? Do you need to write the queries in DAO or do we need to write the queries in controller?
DAO.
The DAO.
DAO. So from this DAO, the data will be inserted into
Database.
database. Are we clear with this concept?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, how do we transfer all 3 records to a DAO layer?
Means
The
of
form
not
of object.
Object. Which object?
DT.
3 employee objects as a parameters or not?
No,
Yes.
sir. This is list of employee.
List. Very good. Because either it can be 3 records or it can be 30 records also. So now tell me, how are we receiving the data from controller to DAO? Are we receiving the data in the form of a normal object? Are we going to receive them in the form of list object?
List object.
List object.
Okay. Once if you receive the data in the form of list object, in the DAO, you need to process to store the data into
Database.
database. Are we clear with this concept now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you guys take care of the code or you need my help?
Yeah, we will take care.
So we'll try.
Where do you want to start?
Apart from DAO level.
DAO layer. Always start from here. So that easy. In the DAO, I need to write a method. That method will receive the data from controller in the form of list object. Start the code. I think in the DAO, this is fine. I'm done with this. Go to data source factory util, admin. I think all the code is ready, right? So now take care of it. Where do you want me to start? How do you want me to start?
Go to employee.
Go to
Go
DO.
to employee DAO. Okay, fine. I'm in employee DAO. Go to employee DAO.java. Next.
Save all employees, write a method.
Yeah, save all employees or right, save all public. For the time being, take void. Later point of time, we can change it. Save all employees. Okay, fine.
List of employee objects.
List of
Very good. List of
employee type.
Employee.
EMP
All
list.
EMP list. Okay, very good. EMP list. Okay. Oh, some error is coming. Put the mouse cursor. Java.util. Okay. Util package also imported. Okay, fine.
Get
Then what
JDBC
next?
template
create employees.
Yeah, get the JDBC template. How do you get the JDBC template object?
directly by calling the method. Get
Yeah.
JDBC
JDBC
template.
template.
Yeah, get JDBC template. Dot.
Here
Batch update.
batch update.
Batch
Batch
update.
update.
Very good.
Second
Batch
one.
update.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Third one.
Third one.
Second one.
Third one.
Second one or third one or fourth one?
First.
Which one?
First
First
we'll
one.
use the third one.
Third one.
Third one. Okay, one question here. What is the query to insert the record? Write the query. String SQL is equal to insert into EMP underscore table values of positional parameters, right?
Yes.
Comma positional parameters. Okay. Yeah. Query is fixed. Query is same for all of them. If you want, I can truncate the tables here, records here. Truncate table EMP underscore table. There are no records available. Take care of it. Now you take a decision. Which method to use, how to use it, and all, you take it. Now.
Empty list.
Create our employee list.
First to decide which method.
List
Third
third
one.
one.
Third one? Okay,
Yes.
fine. Third one. Okay, fine. SQL ready.
Have to pass
Employee.
the batch argument.
Okay, look at this here. What they're expecting here in the third one?
List of object.
Argument.
List of objects.
Hey, wait, you are not seeing all. 1 minute. SQL of this method you said, right?
Yeah.
They are expecting what?
List.
Inside the list, what they're expecting?
Array.
Object array.
Object array. But what we have here?
List only. Only the employee.
Employee. If you want, I'll try that. Directly copy paste. No problem. Copy paste. Save it. Okay. Error is coming. Put the mouse cursor.
There's the cursor.
They say that the method batch prepare statement setter in is not applicable for
Arguments.
argument list of employees.
Employees.
Are we clear?
Yes.
Take care of it.
You can try with first one.
First one.
No.
Finger.
First one? Okay,
Yeah.
fine. First one. Oh, 1 minute. Oh, what is the first one here?
Is the only
Writing multiple
Only SQL.
skills.
multiple queries.
Multiple queries. Really? Do you really want to prepare multiple queries with different values and do you want to supply that? Do you think
No.
that is this a good approach?
No, sir.
Oh,
No. You guys have to take care of it.
Go with the setter, sir.
You have to create an employee list of any object.
Oh, maybe you have to find another method.
Collections.
Method is there in front.
Second one, sir.
Method
Batch
is there in
prepared
front of
statement
you.
setter. Second one.
Second one.
You want me to try this?
Yes.
But what is that method? I know SQL, but I don't know about batch prepared statement setter.
We'll go and look at that
Internal code.
internal code of that one.
Which one?
A batch
can we-
prepared statement setter.
Yeah, try that. Try that.
Can we use
Control Shift
EMP
T.
list as array?
You want to use EMP list as?
Array.
How do you convert?
As list, EM.
To array.
Sorry, to array.
What to array? Okay, let's try
EMP list dot to
that. To
Array.
array.
Will convert into what?
List
Object array, right? Try that, no issues. Control 1.
That is list of object array. That is only
Fine,
object array.
fine. There are, see, my point here is I don't want to say no. Okay. If I start saying no for you guys, you will not come with different options. Okay. Let's see the problems. Let's face it. Let's solve it. SQL, comma, array. Save it.
No, sir, it will not. List of array, it's accept.
So again, you want. So is this going to solve the problem or it will not solve the problem?
It
No,
will
sir,
not solve the
it will
problem.
not.
Check other method.
Yeah, check other methods. You take a dish. You want this method, right? Batch prepare statement setter.
Yes.
Okay, try that. Open that method. Try to see how exactly it's going to do that.
Control Shift T.
Control Shift T.
Batch prepared
Statement setter.
Batch prepared statement setter.
setter.
Sir, you have to be very careful here in using it. Okay. First of all, look at this. Can I say it's a functional? It's an interface, right?
Yes.
Is it a functional interface?
No.
No, sir.
How do you say that?
No functional
And
interface.
functional is not there.
But at functional interface is not there. We have seen so many annotations, so many interfaces with at functional interface, but they're acting as
functional interface. It is optional.
it's optional.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
you only
do
one
one.
Have to see the methods, sir. Number of methods.
See
So
the number of
it's
methods.
two methods.
Two methods. It is
Two
not a
methods are
functional
there.
interface.
Is it a functional interface or it's not a functional interface?
It's not,
It's not a functional interface.
If it is not a functional interface, do you think that can I use lambda here or we cannot use lambda?
We cannot use.
use the lambda.
We cannot use lambda, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now tell me, but then what is the approach I have to take?
Anonymous inner type.
Yeah. There is only one way called as anonymous inner type. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Take care of it. You already know. Oh, okay. 1 minute. Control Shift T. Okay. Batch prepare statement setter. Two methods are there. What is the first method here?
Set value.
Set value. Oh, they are giving which object?
Wait statement.
Of index also they are giving. That list index also they are giving. What is the next method here?
Batch size.
List size. See, the beauty here is generally when you got an array list, what we have to do? From the list object, do we need to write a for loop to process them one by one or not?
Yes.
Right? Without writing a loop, can you do that or we cannot do that?
Sir, we can do it.
We cannot do that. So instead of you write that loop, Spring itself is giving that loop for you. So can you process that now? Guys, you understand or you want to explain again? Instead of you write the loop, who is taking care of the loop?
Spring has given.
Spring batch, JDBC template itself is giving that batch update. So now take care of that. Second parameter. What is the second parameter here? New. Take care of it. Take care of it. I already explained how to do that.
Yes.
No, not new. First I told you like this, right?
Yes.
Yes, second.
Next.
New. Batch prepared.
Statement setter. Directly can I use anonymous inner type here so that they'll give you the method names also?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Use that option. Anonymous inner type. When I do that, all the methods also they're giving one extra semicolon has come here. You just remove that.
Okay.
Now you take care of the code here. Okay. First, how many times loop has to iterate? Who should know that? Spring should know that or not?
Yes, sir.
They should know that.
So they does this based on this value. But really, do you want me to iterate that loop for 0 times, or do you want me to iterate that list based on this EMP list?
EMP list size.
So always return EMP list size.
Dot
size.
Size.
Okay. Click on save method. Click on save. Generally, as I'm using Java 8, they are not asking me to make this as final. If I use Java 7, they'll ask me to write the code like this, final, because I'm supplying this variable as an inner parameter to the inner class or not.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason they'll ask me to make it as a final. But Java 8, they'll not force you to do that. Okay, they will make it as in our classes automatically. So the final variables automatically. Now, see here what will happen is they are giving you prepare statement object. They are giving you the index. Index 0 means from this EMP list, first element. 1 means second element. 3 means third element. Like this, they are going to give you that. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I have to do is from this list, I have to get the employee object, but I have index also. The way I can get that is EMP list dot get of I.
Based on the index, we'll get that.
Yeah, we are going to get that employee object. I got the employee object. If I got the employee object, can I supply the values to these positional parameters here?
Yes.
Yeah, PS dot
Yes. Dot set.
int of index
M-
dot 0
I.
comma
I.
Employee.
employee dot get in. Okay,
Yes.
PS dot employee, not employee list. Employee dot 1 minute.
Get name. Name.
Employee dot get name. Okay. PS dot set double of 2 comma employee dot get salary. Yeah, employee dot get salary. Okay. If I do that automatically, do you think that your Spring will take care of submitting those records also or not? Okay. Are we clear with the concept here? How exactly we are processing this record now?
Yes.
Yeah. So now let's do. Yeah.
Why can't we use the same method again?
Same method.
We have written on same method which you can see, right?
But here, how do we supply the values to? Oh, you want to call the save method here inside this? But if you want to do that, again, you have to write this list object, right? For loops and all.
And line number 39, we are getting one employee object, right? So
Line number?
why can't we 39?
39. We are getting what? From where we are getting this employee object? Oh, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that also. But how many transactions they'll happen? Are they going to happen in one transaction? Are they going to happen in multiple transactions?
Three multiple transactions.
3 transactions, but I want to finish that in 1 transaction. How do you do that? You understand my requirement? In batch update, assume that one query failed. I should not store any data. But if I directly call the save method here, instead of all this code, what will happen? Okay, out of 3 queries, first 2 queries successful, last query failed. What will happen?
Roll back.
Roll back.
It will be rolled back automatically. It will be rolled back automatically. But if you start writing the code directly save method, what will happen? 2 records will be stored. 1 record will fail. Is that the expected? Is that
Going to store.
Sorry?
Not store.
Yeah. Is that expected or it is not expected way?
It's not expected.
Not expected.
Yeah, that should not be the case. That is the reason I have stopped it. Are we clear? Yeah. So let's do one thing now. Now try to call the service and try to call the controllers also. Take care of it. The remaining code is very easy to do that. Go to service, inside the service, employee service, 1 method. Public void save all of list of employee. EMP list. Okay, bad. EMP list. Okay, inside that, employee DAO dot save all employees of EMP list. Okay, so some error is coming here. Let's put the mouse cursor. Let's input the package java.util. Okay, this is done. But who is supposed to call the service program? Directly, am I going to call or control is going to call? Controller. But I don't have a controller. That is the reason I'm going to go to a program called start.java. So here, let's do one thing. I want to call this code. Before calling the code, let's delete that. Do I need to prepare the data? Do I need to ready with the data or not?
No, we have to.
Not ready.
Yeah. we are not ready with the data. Let's do one thing. Arrays dot okay, let's do one thing. Create a new object, new employee of 1. Okay, double quotes. 1 is the person, 10,000 is the salary. Control 1. Make this as a D here. D stands for double. 1 minute. Let me put the people on mute. Okay, D stands for double. Let me store that in a variable. EMP1. Now let's use this for 3 times. 3 records I'm storing it. Employee number 2, employee number variable 3. So change the variables also here. You're just preparing the data here. Data preparation, I'm doing it. Employee number 2, employee number 3. Value 2, value 3 here. Okay, 2, 3. Now I need to add all of them to a list. Okay, the way I'm going to do that is arrays dot as list. Or directly we can create a new array list object that will supply. Okay, semicolon, control 1. Control 1. I'm going to get EMP list and supply all of them. EMP list dot add of EMP1. Okay, EMP2, EMP3. Okay, EMP3. Now call the appropriate method here. Container dot
Get bin of
get bin of employee service dot employee service dot class. Semicolon, control 1. We got employee service here. Once we got employee service dot save all of, let me supply that EMP list. Yeah. Now before executing the program, go to database, verify the number of records, truncate the table, select star from EMP. Any records are there or no records are there?
No records.
No records are available. Let's run the code here. Right click, run as Java application. Yeah. Some issue has come here. Let's look into the issue and solve it. Okay. Index out of range 0, 1. I think in prepared statements the index has 0 and all here. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let's go to your app.java. Run it. Right click. Run as Java application. Yeah. This time program has been got terminated. Okay. Go to your database. Check the records. Select star from EMP underscore table. Are the 3 records inserted or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me truncate them here. Truncate them. Okay, let's go here. Okay, I have entered a huge amount of employee name. Go here. DESC of EMP underscore table. What is the size of your name here? Varchar of what? 20. Okay, truncate the records here. Truncate. There are no records available. Select star from EMP underscore table. No records, right? Now run the code. Run as Java application. Exception has come. Data is too large at row number 1. Okay, go to database, verify. Please don't try to draw anything here. Clear diagram. So tell me, what happened here? First record failed. Second record is success. Remaining 2 is passed or not?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we can have customized transactions. Can we customize the transaction now?
Yes.
Yes.
So let's do one thing. Let's start for today. In tomorrow's session, I'll explain how can we have a transactions, customized transaction. If you want to have a customized transaction, Maybe directly I cannot use this method. Which method I cannot use it? Batch update. Yeah, you need to find another method. Get data source dot, not get data source. Get JDBC template dot batch update of. You need to find another method to process it. Okay. So meanwhile, you just check that method and come back. Are we clear? Yeah. So we'll see that in tomorrow's session here. Okay.